Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Bullseye Nate 231 and we're back under the hood of a 2012 Nissan Rogue. Today we're going to be showing you how to change the front brake pads on the 2012 Nissan Rogue. Alright, so before we get into what kind of tools we need and stuff, first you're going to want to block your back tire so that way your car doesn't roll away from you. This is actually a rear wheel drive. Well, it's actually all-wheel drive car, so the back may have a locking rear end, but you always just want to be sure that your car doesn't roll away from you once you get it up on the jack and stuff. Safety first. So, but let's, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel with YouTube's new monetization laws and all that foolishness that's been going on in the high ups of YouTube. I need more subscribers, so be sure and hit that subscribe button down at the bottom of this video. Alright, let's talk about what we need the tools wise. Right, so the first couple of things you're going to need tools wise, before I get into the sizes of everything else, you're going to need a jack stand or jack stands, and a T-bar, or that's to take off the wheel, or you could use a 21mm socket if you have that available. I'm going to use a T-bar today just because it's quick, it's easy, you can spin it around, and the tire comes off quick. Obviously new brake pads and rotors. If you're going to do rotors, you're going to need a 19mm 3/8 drive. I've also got a 19mm half-inch drive just in case the mounting bolts are really tough to get off. And you're going to need a clamp. Usually I use a C-clamp, but I couldn't find one in the junky garage today. And a flathead screwdriver, just in case. You always can use a screwdriver for things. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to loosen the lugs on the tire, which is what I've already done. And so once they're all broke loose, we're going to take the vehicle up off of the ground. That way we can take the rest of the tire, take the tire off the rest of the way. All right, so I'm right up underneath the driver's side front tire. As you can see right here, there's a good jacking point right there on the frame. So we're gonna jack it up right there, and get it in the air. All right, so once you have ground clearance on the tire, you don't have to go super high up in the air. Just once the tire is off the ground, then we're going to want to secure our jack stand so that if the jack were to fail, the car doesn't fall down. So the same thing, we're just going to find a spot down here on the frame. Which typically you would kind of put this in a little bit of a different place. So anyway, so we're actually gonna lower it. So we're gonna jack it up a little bit more so I can get the jack stand up one more notch, and then we're gonna lower it onto the jack stand so to take the pressure off the jack. Now that the vehicle is securely jacked up and got the jack stand on there, we're gonna go ahead and finish taking off the lugs so we can remove the tire. Now once your tire is removed, your brake pad is right here. This is the caliper, and the brake pad is, there's one on the front and one on the back. Now in order to get these off, what we're gonna have to do is, you can see these caliper mounting bolts. There's one on the top, one on the bottom. We're gonna remove those, and this whole caliper is gonna slide off of the rotor. This is the rotor, and then we'll be able to insert the new brakes into the caliper and push the piston back. Alright, so these mounting bolts, caliper mounting bolts, are actually 19mm, the 19mm socket that you have. And so you're just gonna righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, loosen them. Just remember that you're backwards to this, so it's gonna be opposite. So we're going this way to loosen, this way to tighten. Alright, but that's because we're backwards. So we're just gonna take these bolts loose, and then I'll show you what to do next. Alright, so these caliper mounting bolts are extremely tight, so I went ahead and got rid of my 3/8 drive socket and ratchet, and I got this half-inch drive extendable ratchet. You can pull it in, pull it out. and just put it to whatever size you need up underneath the vehicle. That way we can get more leverage to get these bolts off. Alright, so once these bolts are removed, this is the last little one right here. So remember, there's one on the top and then there's one on the bottom right here, I think you can see. Alright, so now that the bolts are removed, we're going to take the caliper. It just slides right off of the rotor, and we're going to set it right up here on top of the rotor so that we don't break these brake lines or anything. Right now you can inspect your brake lines, make sure that you don't have any tears, no leaks with the fluid and all that. And these are the old brake pads right here. You got one in the front, one in the back. If you need to change your rotor, this is where you just take your rotor loose, because the caliper mounting bracket and all that, the brake pads and all that holds all the rotor on. So sometimes these kind of seize in place. As you can see, this one don't want to move. You just take a hammer, beat it, and it'll pop loose. You just work its way off, and then it comes right off. But we're not changing the rotors today. They're still in good shape. We're just going to put new brake pads on it. So I'm going to show you how to push this piston back here so that the new brake pads, as you can see, these are worn. So when I put the new brake pads on, this is going to be way too thick to slide over the rotor. So we're going to push this piston in here back, so that way it makes space for the new brake pads, which are a lot thicker. Alright, so next we're going to take our clamp, or C-clamp. Preferably I like to use a C-clamp. I couldn't find it in all the mess in the garage today, so I'm going to go with this clamp. But basically what you're going to do is you can go ahead and remove the front brake pad, and I'll compare the two here in a few minutes. But you leave the old one on, and then we're going to crank the C-clamp, or whatever kind of clamp you have, and it's going to push that piston. See if we can get a shot of it real quick. This piston back here, it's going to push it back so that that gives space for the new brake pads that aren't worn down. So what this is basically doing is you're pushing the fluid back into the system. You can check the top of the vehicle to make sure that you're not going to overflow your brake fluid levels, but basically we're just pushing the fluid back, and then when we're done this procedure, this is going to make space for the new brake pads to be able to fit over the rotor. Alright, so after you push the piston back, it should look about like this, and then we're going to get ready to install the new brakes. Alright, so as promised just a few moments ago, you can see the comparison of the two. These are the old ones. See how thin they are? This is the actual brake pad up here, this top layer. This is the new one. You see this top layer, the second one here. This is all the brake pad, and so as you can see, this is almost completely gone on this one. So we're going to go ahead and throw those to the side. This right here on the edge of this pad, this is what they call the little squeakers. That's what starts rubbing. You see, you can just see it up over the top of the brake shoe. That starts rubbing and squealing, making your brakes squeak. And so that's how you know that they need to be changed, because they're getting down on that. It's squeaking on the rotor. As you're trying to stop, it's dragging and making that squeaky sound. So, all right. If you look up here on the caliper, you see these metal brackets that the brake shoes were in. When you buy new brakes, they give you all new hardware. There's the little squeakers in there and everything. So you're just going to go ahead and put these brackets back into these slots. And so you might need like a flathead screwdriver. And you just pull it out. They're literally just set in there. So I'm just going to pick at it with my screwdriver here. And get them out. And once you get them, pick them out, you just go ahead and get your new one, and you just push it right back in. The new one just pushes right in, like the old one came out. Alright, so I got the old one out here, and I just put this new one next to it to make sure they were the right size. They're exactly the same. So we're going to go ahead and take this new one. And just like it just pulled out before, it's just going to push in. So you're just going to kind of feed it in there. And get it lined up. This is hard to do with one hand, but anyway, so you just get it in, and then you push it in to secure it into the correct place. Like so. And it's not in all the way, but it's getting there. So I'm going to need 2 hands to do this, but you just push these right back into the socket. Do the same for the one on this side. And then you're almost ready to install the new brake. Before you install the new brake, the only other thing you got to do is you need to put your little squeaker back on one of your brake pads. So you don't have to put one on every one. You just put one on each side. That way you could be notified when they're ready to be changed again. They're literally designed to accept the little squeaker. So you see that little notch there? It just pushes on. And once it's secured, which actually that's backwards, you got to put them this way. Sorry about that. So, and so now when your brakes get worn again, it's going to come and it's going to start rubbing down here on the rotor, and you're going to know that your brakes are ready to be changed again because of the squeaking that they're making. Alright, so once you got all your new hardware installed, like you can see, we're ready to put in our new brake pads. So this one's going to go on the back side, and it's just going to slide in the grooves just like you slid it out. And then the one with the squeaker on it, that I put the squeaker on, we're going to put that one on the front. And so you're going to push it in and then slide it this way. And so basically you're going to slide them each to different sides, and that way you can set it right back down on the rotor. Now sometimes you wind up not fitting back over the rotor because the piston needs to be pushed back a little bit more. So if you put your new brake pads in, don't freak out. You might have to push the piston back a little bit more if you didn't quite get it all the way back. So we're going to secure these brake pads, and then we're going to put the caliper back on the rotor. Alright, so we got the new brake pads pushed into their correct slots. If you look here, you notice I had the squeaker on the front one. It was actually hitting this little piece right here. It probably could have been on there and been fine, but I went ahead and put it on the back because, you know, there's more space there and it's not hitting anything now, whereas it was hitting right here. So just went ahead and put it on the back. So that's the only difference. But now we're ready to reinstall the caliper back on the rotor. So we're just going to pick up the caliper and slide it back on over the rotor and remount the bolts. So let's see, got it in place. So you can see it went right over the rotor, and then we're just going to secure it with those 2 19mm bolts on the back side. So once you get your caliper lined up on the holes, sometimes you have to wiggle the caliper a little bit to get the bolts to go in, but you were just going to start threading with our hands to make sure nothing's cross threaded, and then once we get them as tight as we can with my hand, go back to the 19mm wrench. And like I said, sometimes you got to wiggle the caliper and use 2 hands, try and find the hole and get everything lined up. And then once you get them lined up, just snug them up with the ratchet, and then you're ready to reinstall the wheel. So we got the mounting bolts nice and tight now. Got those retightened. Remember, you got one on the top, one on the bottom down here. So the new brakes are installed. Everything looks good. Everything's tight, good and tight and snug again. Like if you wanted to change those rotors, you would just pop them off, slide the new one on, and then change the pads and slide the pads back on. Same type of procedure. You just would have to work that rotor loose. Like I said, sometimes if you hit it, you know, once this is disconnected, the caliper, you can hit it and it'll come off. Sometimes they get seized on there around here and all. You know, you can spray that with, you know, some WD-40 or something, trying to break it loose. So anyway, that's everything. Now we're just going to reinstall the wheel, and then I'll show you what to do next. All right, now that we got the wheel nice and tight, we're going to go ahead and pull the jack stand out. So we're going to release this. And then we're going to lower the vehicle slowly. And now you're ready to do the other side. The procedure is going to be exactly the same for the other side. And then when you're done, what you're going to want to do is come into your vehicle, push your brakes all the way to the floor. When you use the clamp to push that piston all the way back on the caliper, it's pushing them all the way back, so your brakes are going to be real spongy. So you push them all the way down to the floor, and then you pump them a few times. This is before you start the vehicle, anything. Pump them a couple of times, and you're going to feel them come back and get tight. Once they're tight, you're ready to go. Your car is done, and you got brand new brakes installed. Alright, this is Bullseye Nate 231 signing off. Comment with any questions you may have. Don't forget to like this video. I hope it was helpful. And remember to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.